Côté manger ça sortit. Si vous voulez quand vous posez question. Ça qui produit, comment le produit. Avant manger, posez question ça. C'est maintenant pas de bail manger parce que l'idée pas de mettre. Non, fait comme on est dépendant, ça veut manger c'est les produits. Qui côté manger ça sortit. Si vous voulez quand ça qui produit, comment le produit. Avant manger, poser question ça. Après la guerre indépendance, nous te produit tout ça besoin. Nous te besoin rester arrêté pour voyer vendre dans notre pays. Qui côté manger ça sortit. Si vous voulez donc poser question. Ça qui produit, comment le produit. Avant manger. Côté manger ça sortit. Si vous voulez poser question. Ça qui produit.
Okay. My name is Darnella Winston. I'm with the Mississippi Association of Cooperative, also the Federation of Southern Cooperative, which is a member of the organization U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance. The Federation was also a domestic recipient in the year 2015 for the Food Sovereignty Prize, along with Ofren of Honduras. We encourage you to introduce yourselves in the chat and let us know who you are and where you're calling in from. Now, I just want everyone to know that this is a celebration, okay? This is something that we're excited about, that we're about to begin. This is a journey into another year to be able to give out the U.S. Food Sovereignty Prize and be at this ceremony together. We will now officially open the ceremony with the mystical. I hand it over to our Heather Day of Community Alliance of Global Justice.
Greetings, everyone. We've gathered our movements here in this space and virtually from Bellingham to Boston to Baltimore, from El Salvador to Brazil to Haiti, from Kenya to Cameroon, from Paris to Palestine, and from La Via Campesina peasants to fishers organized with NAMA, all of the queer and women-centered spaces, from people who work the land, and from people who care for and harvest from our seas, our rivers, our lakes. This is an invitation. I'm going to invite you to share in the chat as well, if you're comfortable. I'm also going to sing. I love to sing, and it's wonderful to share a song with you today. And I invite you to sing along. Of course, Zoom, all sing in your homes. And the song will repeat, so you'll become familiar with it. The song is called We Rise. It's by Bacha Levina, who is a Jewish artist based in Philadelphia, and it's a song that's being sung at the many protests calling for a ceasefire in Palestine, organized by Jewish Voices for Peace here in Seattle. So it feels appropriate for the moment we're in, and we'll post a link to the chat to it a little bit later. And here, the first part that I'll be singing first is going to be posted in the chat by Sarah, I think. So first, I just want to ground ourselves in the here and now. So right now, come into this global shared space by noticing your breathing. Let's all take a big breath in and release. Feel your body touch the ground, supported by Mother Earth. And if you haven't already, please share in the chat, including whose indigenous lands you occupy, if that's appropriate. We are in Seattle, Washington, on Coast Salish lands, specifically those of the Duwamish tribe and the Muckleshoot tribe. So I'm now gonna light 4 candles. The first candle I light is for our ancestors. We honor those who have come before us and remember their gifts. If you want to share the name or names of people in the chat who you've lost either recently or in the past, people who were significant to you and people who are significant to our movement, we invite you to do that. I want to name Mads DeShazo, a former organizer with my organization who we lost this year, and Bob Redmond, a beloved local beekeeper. I also want to share the names of a few important ancestors for the U.S. food sovereignty movement. John Kinsman, an elder from Family Farm Defenders, Charity Hicks, a beloved Detroit-based food sovereignty organizer, and Kathy Ozer, the longtime leader of National Family Farm Coalition. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we are right here. I light this candle in honor of Indigenous peoples. In recognition of Indigenous people's struggles and to acknowledge that we're settlers on unceded lands. Here where we live, the Indigenous peoples of the Coast Salish Sea are called the Salmon people. And they've cared for these lands and waters, the mountain lakes, the streams, the rivers, and the ocean for millennia. We honor and want to show gratitude for the struggle here locally against genetically engineered salmon and fish. And all these salmon are created for that struggle this year. And in the words of Quinault Indian Nation leader Fawn Sharp, who's one of our important local leaders on this issue, she said, "We believe very strongly that the salmon were gifted to our ancestors from the Creator. And when the Creator made and designed salmon, it was perfect. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we are right here." I light this candle for the workers who feed us. For the peasants, the Peyizan, the campesinos, the farm workers, the grocery store workers, the farmers, the fishers, the cooks, the mothers, the grandmothers, the fathers, the family members. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. I light this last candle for you and for us. For our collective movements for liberation who struggle to make another world possible. As Arundhati Roy said at the World Social Forum in 2003, 20 years ago, another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. Lesser known are the words that came before that part of her speech. And she said, our strategy should not be only to confront empire, but to lay siege to it, to deprive it of oxygen, to shame it, to mock it. with our art, our music, our literature, our stubbornness, our joy, our brilliance, our sheer relentlessness, and our ability to tell our own stories, stories that are different from the ones we've been brainwashed to believe. The corporate revolution will collapse if we refuse to buy what they are selling, their ideas, their version of history, their wars, their notion of inevitability. Remember this, we be many and they be few. They need us more than we need them. Another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. We rise, humbly hearted rise, won't be divided, rise, the spirit to guide us, rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here in hope, in prayer. We're right here, we rise. All of the children rise. Elders with wisdom rise. Ancestors surround us rise. Sing with me. In hope,
Hope
prayer,
and
find ourselves here in hope, in prayer. We're right here, we rise up from the wreckage, rise is our courage, rise. Fighting for life, we rise. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves.
in
We hope,
hope,
in prayer, we're right. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves. In hope, in prayer, we're right. We rise, humbly hardened, rise, won't be divided, rise, spirit to guide, Thank you for singing with me.
Thank you. Thank you for that powerful mystical. And now, on behalf of the U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance, welcome to the 2023 Food Sovereignty Prize Ceremony. Oh, yes. The U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance was founded 13 years ago to strengthen and unify struggles for food sovereignty in the United States, in articulation with broader global movements for food sovereignty. The Alliance worked both through the regional, organization, and national level, collective to advance awareness of action towards food sovereignty.
Don't get off my shoe.
We are honored to be the main sponsor of the Food Sovereignty Prize. The Food Sovereignty Prize was born in 2009 when a national food movement gathered was taking place in Des Moines, Iowa. At the same time, the World Food Prize ceremony was happening there. The main problem with the World Food Prize is that it promotes the myth that hunger is due to lack of production, when in fact, we know it's due to lack of justice. For many decades, there has been more than enough food in the world for everyone to be fed. But our food system places profit over people. Let me say that one more time. Our food system places profit over people. It exploits and impoverishes producers and workers across the food chain, fuel climate change, and foster inequities. The narrative that we can produce our way out of hunger is dangerous because it obscures these realities to the benefit of powerful corporate interests. Food sovereignty, on the other hand, advances entirely a different system, one in which power is in the hand of the people. Power is in the hand of the people. The Food Sovereignty Prize, championed by this recognizing collective efforts to transform the food system. Today, we're here to celebrate the inspiring achievement of two groups whose work embodies and the principle of food sovereignty: Black Dirt Farm Collective and MPP, the peasant movement of Papay. I'd like to now call upon Mariah Prosperous to introduce MPP.
Hello, thank you, Darnella. Mamira Prosper here. I am, can you hear me, everyone? Yes. I am Grassroots International board member. Okay. I'm a Grassroots International board member. I'm an assistant professor of global and international studies at University of California, Irvine. And also the international coordinator for community movement builders. And I'm very excited as a Haitian born and raised person to be presenting this award to Mouvman, Peyizan, Papay. Before I say more about the group, I wanted to say maybe Chavan doesn't remember this, and Chavan is the founder of MPP, but we met in January of 2019. Officially, though, I had been in different circles with him when I visited MPP's locale in Papay itself, which was extremely impressive, and it was during an international gathering. So I think one of the other things about MPP standing out for me, even as a kid, hearing about it, is the way that they have played an instrumental role in being an internationalist hub in the country. So I come to this moment, you know, sort of bringing the personal as a Haitian person growing up in the 90s and hearing about all of those who had been really instrumental in organizing on the ground against the Duvalier dictatorship. My father, we called him the Camoquin. He was in prison under the Duvalier regime. And, you know, so being here with these folks who are militant revolutionaries is extremely exciting. And I've had the pleasure to share space more recently with Ghislaine and Mulea. So I'm very happy to be here. So with all that said, I wanted to say a couple things about the MPP and then give them the floor to give us some words of inspiration. Mouvement Peyizan Papay was established in 1973, aligned with the international peasant movement La Via Campesina from the 1990s onward, and has grown now to represent more than 60,000 members. The movement empowers rural agricultural workers and focuses on food sovereignty to reclaim Haiti's independence from global food imports. And the Prize Committee recognizes MPP's work combating the ongoing environmental, humanitarian, and hunger crisis in Haiti, worsened, of course, by entrenched legacies of colonialism, colonization, land grabbing, climate change, and foreign exploitation at the expense of local food systems. MPP works directly with local farmers to bolster local food economies through agroecology and build environmental resiliency through planting tens of millions of trees. This inspiring grassroots strategy rejects Haiti's continued reliance on sporadic international aid in favor of local community control. And I'll say, what MPP does is a refashioning of Combi tradition in Haiti, which is to think of non-capitalist ways of being and doing, and humans relating to one another and to land. So I'm very pleased to be able to present this prize. And I cede the floor to our prize winners for their great words. And I just to say, we will be hearing from Chavan Jean-Baptiste, who's the founder, but also from executive committee members, Ghislaine Tiresias, and 3 people, right, will be speaking today. And that will include also Mulea. Thank you. Mulea Michel.
In the name of NPP, we salute the organization that actually erected us to be there. And I would like to honor the organization that are our co-laureate with us. And I hope that we'll have the opportunity to communicate amongst each other. And I would like to congratulate and then salute all the organizations that are here this afternoon. And so the news that MPP actually had, this news came to us in September while we had this youth camp where we had about 460 youth that gathered together to this camp that is called food sovereignty. And so it was really a joyful moment when the youth, the young people heard this about the news for MPP to be recognized. So as you know, MPP was founded since 1973, and since the birth of MPP, we made this choice. We made the choice in terms of this peasant organization to defend the right and the sovereignty of the peasants. And so since then, we've been working with these groups so that we can promote agriculture for the peasants, by the peasants. And we became a member of Via Campesina International, and we are a founding member. And we are amongst those leaders who work with this conception of the this food sovereignty, as we go into that those folks that are going to go and present at the conference in the United Nations. Also, we did this with the FAO, and we're going to come with this concept of the food sovereignty based on the sovereignty, the food sovereignty. And we're going to also now, we were part of the delegate from Via Campesina, and we organized this conference that we're going to have in Mali with more than 500 delegates that came from all over the world in this social movement, where we're going to work and we're going to deepen this concept of food sovereignty. And this is when it was really going to give us another into Via Campesina, which became a concept that really all these organizations, these peasant organizations, and indigenous people also, and the women organizations, youth organization, all these other institutions that would depend, that defends the environment rights and that are defending the land, we developed this big movement and this for food sovereignty. In terms of MPP, we're very happy that we were able to participate in this 50th anniversary to receive this prize, which really give us more visibility in the work that we are doing for more than 50 years, and to see how we can really make Haiti become a land of big people in terms of food, even though Haiti right now depends a lot on imported goods. And MPP, and with a lot of other organizations, peasant organizations, we came together collectively. We're working. We are promoting agroecology, and as a tool and as the only way really to resolve that we have with climate crisis, and that's on the planet, which is also contributing in terms of cooling the planet, which is now facing a lot of climate changes, which is really causing this this global warming that is really putting the planet in peril. So this industrial agriculture is agriculture that's making money. However, it's an agriculture that is really destroying people's lives, that's destroying the lives on the planet. And we believe that food sovereignty as a right, each population would have a way to produce their own food in their own home that really they can respect the culture of the people, and that respect the way that the people, the way of living of the people in terms of agriculture. And we believe that today it's a fight, it's a global fight, and we're happy that we received this prize that's going to be stimulating for us. And we're going to continue the work, and together with the peasants in Haiti, and with all these other organizations, Mom of Club and members of Via Campesina, because we believe the only chance that the planet has to survive is that each country can become a leader in terms of their own food. And we say without food sovereignty, there is no national sovereignty. So let us put our hands together so that we can continue to build food sovereignty across the whole planet. From MPP, we thank you for this prize that we receive. And in an honor, in the name of MPP and Ghislaine Muller with me, we are so happy to receive this prize in the name of MPP. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Now we will have Andrew to introduce the Black Dirt.
Good day, good evening, everyone. I work, Andrew Kong. Yes, my name is Andrew Kong Bartlett. I work nationally with the Presbyterian Hunger Program and locally with the Food in Neighborhoods Community Coalition, both of which are members of the U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance. Today, I have the great honor of introducing the Black Dirt Farm Collective and Chef Laquanda Dobson, who is here with us to receive the Food Sovereignty Prize and to share some words. The Food Sovereignty Prize Committee was unanimous and enthusiastic in their choice of this year's domestic prize winner. I have been following the work of Black Dirt Farm Collective ever since my friend and comrade Blaine Snipstall began working with them in the early 20-teens. I've also had the pleasure of doing a workshop with collective member Gail Taylor of 3-Part Harmony Farm, and briefly working with Randy Johnson, who did some food justice work with us here in Louisville. And all of us in the U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance have had the pleasure of working with Shakira Tyler, who is with us tonight and who helped advance two initiatives for the Alliance over a couple recent years. The Black Dirt Farm Collective has about a dozen members who are Black farmers, builders, educators, scientists, agrarians, seed keepers, organizers, and political educators. They hail from many amazing farms and organizations, including Detroit Black Farmer Land Fund, Soilful City, Five Seeds Farm, Earthbound Building, Three Part Harmony Farm, South Eats, Black Urban Growers, Seed Keepers of Color, and Soil Generation. According to Xavier Brown, one of the collective's founding members, the novelty and possibilities that agroecology offers as a framework for growing vibrant ecosystems and communities is what brought BDFC's founding members together. Over time, the collective defined guiding values and articulated their unique vision and practice, which they call Afroecology. In a recent interview, Shakira Tyler explained that, quote, through our cultivation of Afroecology, we work to activate Black agrarian communities, their personal, cultural, and technical capacities to be used as a transformative organizing tool. We do this through co-facilitating political trainings rooted in the wisdom of nature. We see this as a process of recovering our innate agrarian identities, Afro-diasporic histories, and magic. Land also plays a pivotal role for the collective, and in particular, revalorizing land for Black folks. Collective member Blaine Snipstall described it as, quote, a very deliberate act to target the folks that have historically helped to build the wealth of this society, but had no real participation in that said wealth. It's also to create a container that supports folks to move from principal consumers to principal producers of our own means of production, whether that is through values, knowledge, culture, building things, or toiling the land, end quote. So we look forward to hearing about Afroecology and more about the collective from Chef Laquanda Dobson. So let me now introduce her. Chef Laquanda Dobson was born and raised in Philadelphia, and she's been involved in the food justice movement since she was 16. Chef Laquanda is known for creating curriculums for youth and community members that reconnect them back to the Black diaspora. She also played a role in the development of the Youth Food Bill of Rights, which was declared in Philadelphia the summer of 2011 by 250 youth. Laquanda was selected to be a U.S. delegate for Slow Food Terra Madre 2012 in Turin, Italy, and she works to build solidarity with the international food movement. Currently, Chef Laquanda is the Culinary Cultures Coordinator for Sankofa Community Farm at Bartram Garden. Chef Laquanda, thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you so much, Andrew. That was beautiful. Just to go off the script a little bit, you have really highlighted everyone in the collective, and thank you so much for your research on all of us. I think that you highlighted each and every one of the collective members in a good light, so I appreciate you for that. Peace and blessings, everyone. It is with great gratitude and honor that I stand before you today. I am truly deeply touched to receive the Food Sovereignty Prize from the U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance. Being recognized amongst pivotal organizations committed to the sacred mission of food sovereignty. Our organization was born from a profound need to reconnect with the African diasporic legacy of the wisdom of nature and honoring our ancestral roots. that divides us. I mean, that separates us from the land as our source of subsistence. I am Chef LaQuanda Dobson. I am a farmer and a chef, born and raised in Philadelphia, and I am one of the youngest members of the Black Dirt Farm Collective. And we're made up of intergenerational farmers, educators, chefs, researchers, advocates, organizers, and parents who are guiding a social, cultural, and political process known as Afroecology. We identify as a Mid-Atlantic group, but we have members from Philadelphia, Maryland, North Carolina, Kentucky, Brazil, and Michigan. At the heart of our organization lies a vision that transcends boundaries. We aim to facilitate social, cultural, and political trainings rooted in the wisdom of nature, fostering intergenerational exchange and bridging the rural-urban divide. Our mission includes support for organizations embracing agroecology and Afroecology, lifting up cooperative land stewards and reconnecting Black communities with the land and essential foundation for achieving food sovereignty. It is an essential plan in achieving food sovereignty. Our agroecology encounters, as y'all can see in some of the photos that are up today, have provided a platform for learning and growth, creating spaces for individuals to immerse themselves in the essence of food sovereignty through farming technical skills workshops, camping, political education, art, and culture, and the preparation of meals sourced from the land. Me personally, I have witnessed this power through communal cooking, especially when guiding the youth and preparing collard greens and frying fish. Our success lies in empowering local communities, providing spaces for learning food sovereignty and agroecology. Looking ahead, our collective aspirations is to continue to expand our land and create inclusive spaces for all to witness and experience us on our journey. Food sovereignty for me isn't just a concept, it's a personal commitment deeply ingrained within my being. For me, food sovereignty isn't just a cause, it's a way of life. It's a quiet commitment to teach and share the art of cooking and farming, ensuring that everyone has the access to the fundamental right. To neglect this mission would be an injustice to our world. Black Dirt's commitment to food sovereignty is to work to create a new food system where those most directly impacted have the power to grow, produce, consume, and distribute food in ways that are healthy, whole, and just for themselves, their communities, the farmers, the land, and the environment. In closing, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all those who have supported our cause, paving the way for our future where food sovereignty is a reality for all. Let us continue this journey together, nurturing our land and communities and our souls. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I couldn't think of any two other organizations that should be receiving this food sovereignty prize. But I want to just circle back to MPP if possible and see if the other comrades there would like to say any words.
We think that when we heard the intervention of Chef LaQuanda, she met us exactly where we are at MPP in regards to how they approach food sovereignty, which makes effectively is the right to every human being to eat food from their own land. With all the population that goes with it, and that allows us to, and as she said, it's the way of life where everyone should be able to practice, to know where the food you're eating is coming from, where it was produced. In addition, it reduces the criminal actions of the capitalist system. Where they give money and material wealth more importance than human being. So this is the only way for everyone to live freely without being ensnared by anyone else, politics and corporations. The way she envisions this type of life, that's the way we see it too. This way of life where you eat when you need to, where you find the food to eat without any relevance to anyone. Même Papay has a technical faction, and it's a pleasure for us tonight to be part of this panel. So, and we have to also go with grassroots that's been a partner to us for the longest time. It allows us to receive this prize. There are other organizations also that participated in this so that we receive this prize. It's really, really, really meaningful to us. We have a lot of common points together when it comes to food sovereignty. They work on vulgarizing the alliance of the food sovereignty because that's what we do also. We need to ally ourselves with other organizations who are doing the same thing so we can partner with them because we have the same thing. Just like them here at MPP, we want to know what we are eating, where it comes from, how it was produced. This is really a pleasure for us to be together with you so we can learn and exchange with Black Dirt Collective for such a work to be done in a country like the US. Where we are still working on to secure food. So we have to face the questions, as to what the big businesses are doing against that.
Thank you. So now I'm going to engage our honorees with a few questions. Chef LaQuanda, what are your most proud of moments in your work that you've done so far?
I think from my point of view, my most proudest moments always interacting with the youth that come to our agro encounters. I love how, you know, it's their first time either camping or it's their first time even traveling out of their hometown, you know, to come to a rural place where the land is actually owned by Black people. You know, it gives them a broader sense of what land looks like. And I always enjoy cooking with them because sometimes it's their first time ever picking up a knife or learning how to cook a dish. So those are the things that like is like very like highlighted moments to me. But I will also say within the pandemic, we were able to collectively get land together. And I think that that is the greatest thing that we were able to like do during that time. And we're still in the process of developing our land. Just recently, we had our first big event on the land. We actually had a watermelon fest, and we had like maybe 200 or 250 people there eating watermelon. And it's really important for us to have the watermelon fest because our ancestors grew watermelons. We got out of slavery because we were able to sell watermelons and collard greens. So it just was amazing to see. We had like 4 different varieties of watermelon, and some people only thought it was one variety. So it just was many people had many firsts there. And just to talk a little bit more, I got to create the food for the people, and the whole menu was around watermelon. So people got to try watermelon gazpacho, which is a cold watermelon dish with like cucumbers and tomatoes, habaneros. I had to change up the recipe to make it diasporic by adding the habaneros. And we had a watermelon hot sauce, and you know, we had to bring out the fried fish because we were in Maryland. So we had to make sure we had what was appropriate for the area and locally sourced. So anytime we get together and we do an event together, those are the things that really make me happy.
Well, thank you. That sounds beautiful. And I know the work is. I was able to attend one of the events that Black Dirt Farm Collective had, and I'm looking forward to be invited or come back. But I also want to move over to MPP to ask you about building food sovereignty in your work. How are you relating it?
So the challenges are many, but at the MPP level, we analyze things et nous comptons partager ça avec vous this evening. We are glad to share this with you this evening. Luckily, what we do is not a priority for the Haitian government. So it is not their concern, food security in Haiti. In the Haitian state, the Minister of Agriculture is supposed to regulate programs and how we work the land, and yet because for the state, as long as we get food, we don't need to know where it's coming from. As a people, the food that we eat is to be essentially from our own land, agricultural food. It's a challenge. one of the biggest challenges the climate chaos, because in Haiti, the majority of peasants we work with, when you're waiting for the rain to fall and then there is nothing. And then when it finally rains, it pours, it's inundation. And another challenge we have, if you don't have access to the land, it's a phenomenon that we call, land grabbing. With the complicity of the state, of the government. So we're seeing like a lot of agricultural land are being turned into concrete because they are building big houses, big buildings. So one of the challenges also is that we don't have access to credit. You cannot go to a bank and ask for a credit, for a loan to work on the land. So this is another major challenge for food sovereignty.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. But I have one other question that I would like to pose to both groups, and that's about maybe the common factor in each other as far as with struggle or with strategies. Is there any that you might feel that you relate to each other about, or you would like to discuss?
Yeah, I want you guys to hear from other collective members. So we have Blaine here, and we also have Sade as well. So if any one of them want to answer the question, that would be great too.
Thank you, Chef.
Yeah, sure. Good evening, everyone. I think Blaine had to leave, but I think that we definitely share the struggle and fight for our full humanity as Black people. That's something that those of us who are from the African diaspora absolutely share. This legacy of slavery in this hemisphere, this legacy also of resistance, and our deep connection, ancestral connections to land and food and culture. I think wrapped up in our fight for our full humanity, of course, is our right to healthy and affordable food, our right to land, our right to a sovereign existence. This is something that Black people all over the world are struggling for. I think that some of our shared strategies include using our ancestral and African diasporic food and landways as a cultural and political tool, nurturing our relationship with the land beyond just sustenance, seeing food and food sovereignty as movement building work, creating solutions that we want to see and not depending on the system that harms us to heal us. As well as I heard someone share earlier that MPP sees themselves as internationalists, and I feel like we do as well. We have deep, beautiful international relationships and prioritize international exchanges, as well as, of course, local and national work. So those are some of the ways that I see our overlap. And I too hope, MPP, that we get to go deeper with our relationship with you all, and thank you sincerely for all the work that you all have been doing for decades.
Thank you. MPP, would you like to speak on anything as far as any strategies or struggles or that's in common?
When we look at what we have, our commonalities, I think it mostly has to do with like the fact that we're Afro descendants. All our ancestors come from Africa, right? And so the other thing is, in terms of the agroecology, both these organizations, we both are basically putting agroecology in the center of the struggle, in a way to construct this food sovereignty and also to defend our motherland. And we feel that we have this commonality. So the other thing that we feel also is the advocacy for our cultural values. And they are defending their cultural values in the ancestral cultures. And there I compliment them, because this is a huge fight. Because in the land of the United States, in this society of consumers, and then they keep this resistance. And when you look at the customs and all, keeping all those indigenous and ancestral customs, that's amazing. And for us, we're still doing this fight in Haiti, because this idea of to be able to eliminate, they're trying to eliminate the cultural values that we have in Haiti. So the other thing is also is the resistance. The resistance, I think, that both the organizations have, and this facing this consumer society, this industrial platform that's actually trying to really remove all that we have in terms of the agroecology and the culture that we have. And the other common point we have is that we're fighting for food sovereignty, and we're also sharing this prize, right? So this is another thing. And I would add that we're enthusiasts also. We're enthusiastic also to build relationship and to exchange amongst us as well.
We'll go to the chat. And the question is, can a people suffering from hunger achieve food sovereignty?
Yes, we believe that. We believe that because one of the things that we do is we try to frame those that are marginalized so that they can see, they can understand morally the work, and so that they can react, they can actually act in the production of food and to take care of the land and to act in terms of conserving of their ancestral knowledge, act so that they can defend seeds, water, life in terms of like their patrimony of the humanity. If they know that, they will chase away people that will come to them with money, and then they're gonna just buy without produce. But so that they don't become a society that's consuming, so that they can take their destiny with their own hands, so that they become a real actor in the production. That's what's going to determine their autonomy and liberty. Shaban, who says, normally people should not be hungry because the nature in reality is there. We have enough in the nature to have. If we're hungry, it's because the resources are misdistributed.
Yes.
We too believe that anyone suffering from hunger, once given the seeds, the water, the tools to be able to feed themselves, you can feed a nation that way, right? Empowering folks with what they need and the resources to do so. So just silently agreeing with MPP.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you again. Just a little short, we had a message that come through, and my father, Ben Burkett, would just like to say congratulations to both groups. He's at the farmer's market. I heard him try to get on, but I just wanted to put that out there. And so now as we move on to the closing.
Thank you so much, Darnella. And wow, just like what a beautiful pleasure and honor it is to be in this space with you. We're so grateful to the Mouvman, Peyizan, Papay, and the Black Dirt Farm Collective the work that you're doing amidst such difficult contexts, with so much historical understanding, experience, vision. It's amazing, and you're sharing it with us so powerfully today, and all the days that we get to connect with you. We're so deeply grateful. And it was amazing for us to understand your approaches, the differences between them, the commonalities between them, the connections. And together with both of you, I know that many of us are also just thrilled at the idea of both of these organizations and movements continuing to connect more, hopefully in person, in over the coming year and years to come. So that's first of all. I also want to deeply thank and appreciate my comrades in the U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance who were involved in organizing this, to Mamira and to Andrew, who introduced our honorees today. It's just clear how the relationships are so deep, and that is really what's fundamental for how we can build power more together. I want to give a special shout out to you, Darnella, our sister, our MC, the Federation of Southern Co-ops, the connection between you and the work the Federation is doing with the work that the Black Dirt Farm Collective and MPP, like knowing that you have those relationships too, organizationally and personally. You brought so much to this celebration and to this prize ceremony. And also thank you so much to our interpreters, Patrick Kasky and Rose Nicholson. We've gotten to know you over the years, and you did such a beautiful job. And it's so important that we are able to have language justice in all of our work, and that we were able to hear from the folks in MPP in Creole, which is such an important, powerful, politically beautiful language, and vice versa. And also want to thank all of you for participating, everybody who joined today. We are grateful that many of you are already part of the U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance as organizations or through collectives, and we want to encourage and invite others to connect and get more involved. If you aren't already, you can reach out to us through our Facebook page and our website, usfoodsovereigntyalliance.org. And yeah, we have collectives by regions, as well as different thematic collectives. The International Relations Collective is one of the most active ones right now, and we can activate many of the others. We're also hoping to get together in person in an assembly of the Food Sovereignty Alliance later this year. So we're looking forward to more, yes, Darnella, more spaces to build and grow. And we want to thank all of you again, especially MPP and Black Dirt Farm Collective, all our love and gratitude and solidarity.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if it's anyone that want to make any comments before we log off, this is the time to do that, and just, do expression. I know we're all over the world, and just so being able to be here and speak and listen, it's just amazing what technology is, even though I'm still on dial-up at home in the country, so at the office, but I think this is beautiful. And I just like for anyone to, if they would like to say anything, this would be the time to open up. And congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Félicitations.
Finalement, les remercier nous toutes
Congratulations.
et nous
Thank you all. And we feel that this is the world that's connecting. We see all these messages that are coming through, and it's certain that if we come together, if we globalize the fight with the way that Via Campesina said it, we can build a new world. We can resist against the climate. We also think that an alliance with all the organization will defend food sovereignty, can actually help us to cool the planet.
What they say, sapase. See you guys. Thank you so
Sapase.
much.
Thank you all. Thank you. We can log off.
Mhm.
No worries.
Thank you.